So in creative circles, there's often talk of writer's block or creative block, or I guess there's singing block or whatever, painting block. These blocks that prevent us from producing our best work, okay? But really, honestly, with regard to writer's block, and I may be speaking from just a place of providence, okay, or pride, but I really do not pay any homage to the muse. I don't like looking outside for some kind of divine infusion, yeah, or for the planets to align over your keyboard, yeah, that will suddenly produce this magnificent work for the world to enjoy. I just don't believe in that. You know, it really just leads to a passive acceptance of like inactivity in our creative lives. You know, instead, what I move towards and what I lean towards is the idea that we are able to tap this endless reserve that resides in our heart. You know, the scriptures tell us that in the heart resides an eternal spring. When we've connected to Christ, when we have connected to the vine, there is no lack of life. There is no lack of divine juice that will flow through our branches and out to the world. John 4:14 says that whoever drinks of the water that I shall give him, speaking of Jesus, that Jesus shall give him, shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be like a well of water springing up unto everlasting life. This everlasting spring of life that bubbles up within us. And in this well, I believe in this well, and what comes up from it is a store of stories, an abounding overflow of encouraging words, songs without number, all of the wonderful creative expressions that we can share with the world, whatever form they take. In Proverbs chapter 18, verse 4, in the Passion Translation, it says, words of wisdom are like a fresh flowing brook, like deep waters that spring forth from within, bubbling up inside the one with understanding. These deep waters that spring forth from within us, bubbling up inside and overflowing in whatever kind of creative capacity we choose to give them access to. You know, but I think the thing is that it does take time to dig that well deep enough and open up the flow. You know, but once you're there, there's really no limit to the life you can pour out in your generous service, creative service to the world. But we don't just dig by thinking, yeah? We don't excavate by just hoping or even praying. And I believe in all of those things. I think we should be setting time aside to think. I believe that we should be digging deep. I believe that we should have deep roots that are and be rooted in hope and faith. And I believe that we should be praying, but it has to, things, particularly in the creative life, we have to move from prayer to practice, yeah? Well, we will exercise all of these things in our efforts to serve, but there's only really one way to hit the gusher and open up the fountain, and that is to pull out your spade and start digging. Now, like looking at the original meanings of the word dig, you know, I was amazed to discover that it's multifaceted. The Hebrew word for dig, when I read it, means write. If I want to dig deep enough and open up that creative well so it keeps flowing, I as a writer need to write. What a revelation. And for you, the root meaning behind this wonderful word dig, you might be surprised to find out that it might mean paint if you're a painter, or sing if you're a singer, or play if you're a guitarist, or build if you're a builder, or shoot or if you're a photographer, or mix or stir or craft. It's amazing how a word as small as dig can be so multifaceted. And of course, I'm only joking. I have no clue what the root Hebrew verb is that is translated dig. All I want to say is you dig by doing. Yeah, you got to unblock the well and really to open up a clear channel to that infinite reserve that dwells in you. I'm reminded of the story of Isaac in the Old Testament, and it says that, his forefathers had dug these deep wells and the Philistines had come and filled them up. And he kind of redug those wells. And, you may find that the Philistines have come in, insecurity, fears, procrastination, perfectionism, and they've just shoveled all their junk into the mine shaft, yeah? They've shoveled all of their dirt into the well. But honestly, with faith and action, faith coupled with action, you can unblock those ancient waterways and become both the recipient and the conduit for a glorious gushing river of creative life. So, and you just got to step over all of your self-judgments and just begin doing it. Of course, we start imperfectly. Of course, we stumble on the way. I've made that a habit now of writing every day. And I no longer ask myself if I feel like it or if inspiration is present. As long as I'm present, my iPad or my laptop, my keyboard, and the Holy Ghost, and he lives in me, so he's always present. He's always ready. He is ready, ready, ready. Yeah? Inspiration will hit the moment you hit the keys. And that's just for writers. If it's a paintbrush or a guitar string or a trumpet mouthpiece, whatever it may be, yeah, it's actually in the doing. God in you makes for very favorable odds that something will spring up if you just let the bucket down. Once your creative habit is established, you've really done the hard part. Now it's really just a matter of coming to the wellspring every day and keeping those conduits clear. And you do that just by drawing water. You got to just keep the fluid moving. We talk about creative flow. Once that flow is underway, it takes a great deal less energy to keep it flowing than it certainly does if you just wait for it to strike every 5 years. Yeah. And then secondly, and I think that this is a real key to kind of endless production, is to make your work public. That way you hold yourself accountable to ship something of value each day. And really the hunger of the world for quality content, it does remain unabated, even though we're overwhelmed with the amount of content that's thrust upon us. Quality content that really speaks to the heart, that delivers to a specific audience. There is a vacuum that exists, and if for all that you bring, and that vacuum will suck some great stuff from your heart if you allow it to. Just put yourself in its way, put yourself before that audience, and allow their heart and their hunger to draw the very best from what is planted inside of you already. Put yourself in the gravitational demand for passion-filled, quality work, and marvelous work will be drawn up from this deep well that the scriptures talk about within you. Find someone to serve, a company of people you can build and encourage, and commit your creativity to produce something of value for them as often as you're able. Now, for me, it's daily, but, make it daily, weekly, or some other schedule, but just keep it regular and commit to deliver on time and, just on a regular basis. It might be podcasting. It could be creating a film and uploading to YouTube. It could be a Facebook Live. Just putting quality content out there for others to benefit from. Taken together, creative habit plus commitment to go public makes for a muse-tapping, well-drawing machine that will never fail to deliver something refreshing and new. And then, and of course, just to, like on a final note, some days are going to be more awesome than others, but done is always better than perfect. So don't get too hung up on every shot, flying out of the ballpark when you swing. Just keep swinging. There is always a good word, song, or image that you can share. Well, thanks for listening. Hopefully, it's been an encouragement to you today. If you want to connect any further, you can do so through my website at davidleemartin.com. Have a great day.